Well, hello there guys, welcome back to some more Decisive campaigns, Barbarossa. To apologize for the amount of time it took us to get to this stream, but honestly we've had a lot of issues with YouTube with this actual stream, which kind of sucks. And basically those issues are they seem to demonetize every video I do on this game, and it really upsets me, but I'm just kind of gotten used to it. It sucks. What can I do? We are going to go ahead and try and get some cards played here. We want to rest a division, and actually we want to rest an entire army group. And I think that army group is going to be Army Group Center, because that's really the one that's making most of the pushing. So I want to see what this would really give us a lot of rest and refit. So we're going to play that on the 2nd Panzer Group at Brest-Litovsk. I think we can also try to rest Army Group North. So I'm going to move to the north and try to rest a few of these guys. Let's see if there should be a way to move up here. Panzer Group HQ. Okay, here we go. So we could play it on these guys. I think there's a lot here near Kaunas. We'll play it on them as well. Rest and recovery. It'll take 8 days, but eventually after that they'll be able to move. And Army Group South. I think Army Group South is pretty much doing okay, unless this is Army Group South, in which case we might be able to go ahead and press a rest Army Group South over here. So let's see. We can't play it on these guys. No, we're not going to play it on the Romanians. Although, actually, 17th Army could certainly use some rest, so we'll play it on them. So a lot of this, obviously, is just to make sure that these guys are able to rest and recuperate. I also want to see if we can get support an army, AGS, allocate theater artillery to army, or concentrate them behind a division. Let's give these cards out later, and right now I'm going to take a look at the possible infrastructure. It's time to convert Soviet rail to standard gauge in the shortest possible time. I think that's probably a good idea. So we're going to go ahead and put things back together for 7 political points. And this is probably something very, very important. And countermand it. I disagree with some of your recent operational decisions, and I am obliged to countermand certain orders that you have issued in your particular divisions. It is a shame that it's come to this, and you can consider my actions as an indication of my professional opinion of your suitability for command in such a senior position. Strongly suggest you pull your socks up and start exercising a sounder judgment in military matters than you have recently. Now, he is an anti-Nazi. I like this guy, so I'm going to fall into line for 0 PP. And just listen to this guy. He seems to be pretty cool. The Sanction Division. Second opinions are a valid means of determining if the decision is a correct one. As a professional serving officer, I have no qualms with your request to review the outcome of my sanction investigation to the following commander. I assume that your interest is purely one of curiosity, as otherwise I would be drawing inferences about your desire to interfere in areas outside of your domain. So let's go ahead and say that we will overrule and disallow sanction, or we'll allow the theater commander to sanction the commander. We're going to try to play ball here. Signaling Army Group North. Captured trucks. Let's demand trucks to be handed over. This is going to piss off some of the commanders, but right now my main goal, obviously, as you could probably imagine, is to try and get as many kills, as many bits of damage on these guys as possible. I will still move forward here. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't get some hits on the enemy units, and once again, it's probably because these guys are desperately in need of rest and refit that they can't really move much, and I think just for that I might go ahead and let most of these guys rest. So I will attack over here in the areas where we can attack. You can see some pretty good losses there on the enemy. They're panicking, and our men are staying in a pretty good position. I do want to go ahead and start moving some of these guys forward, but with the rest and refit order, I think that most of these guys are actually going to get basically a trip home, if that makes sense, or a trip to rest and recuperate, really. So let's go ahead, we'll attack here as well. And we managed to get them to retreat, although we didn't do a lot of damage there, and probably has something to do with the lack of resources we have. I will move forward here. I'll probably move forward with this infantry and Army Group North as well, and this guy as well, just trying to do as much damage as we can to the enemy here. In fact, some of these tanks are going to get behind enemy lines, and let's go ahead and do some damage. So once again, our main goal in this part of the battle is really to try to go ahead and rest and refit a lot of these units, and also continue the attacks as we can see fit to the north. But a lot of these units are in desperate need of recuperation, basically. So we are going to move these guys forward and try to push forward a bit. We can actually keep hitting this guy, believe it or not. But some of these units, you can tell, are totally out of fighting strength. But we do still want to keep them in a decent area. And I'm actually going to move this general into Kaunas, so that he can provide some better support for these guys. This guy, I also want to move into Kaunas. Again, well, you know what? We have a severe supply shortage there. I hope this works. And of course, we've got the SS Polizei division. We'll be moving them forward. Don't think we can get any hits on this guy, sadly, because these guys are arresting. Oh, we can send in 2 units. I think this will actually work okay. And there we go. Getting some enemies to panic and retreat is definitely a step in the right direction. Of course, most of these units are really in need of rest and recuperation, and that's gonna force us to basically have to give these guys that time to rest and recuperate. I will try to get as many men as possible that can fight, that are in fighting strength, to get up there and start fighting. But a lot of these guys just need a day off. They need to rebuild, obviously, some of their fighting force. And actually, we can send in 1 unit. I actually believe that this guy can do a lot of damage to the enemy because they're pretty badly beaten. And broken. Beautiful. So really good work there by the 49th Rifle Division. We actually broke 2 Soviet units. That's going to actually help us a lot. So I'm going to keep moving also here with the Mountain Division. And we want to try to smash into this Soviet group as quickly as possible. As you can see, most of the attacks can only come from the north, and once again, that's probably because these guys are, after all, pretty damn tired. They're going to finally get a chance to rest after this, but during that time, it's going to give the Soviets a lot of time to move around here. So I want to make sure that these lines are pretty even, so that the Soviets can't do any sort of counterattack moves, which I don't think they're going to try, to be honest with you. But you never know. See if this guy can move forward. Yes. And we're definitely going to go ahead and commit a number of troops to this attack. 68 are strongest troops, preferably. 219, I think that's good. And there we go. Panicked, retreated. Just a lot of craziness going on the Soviet line. Understandably, of course. We'll keep moving forces up as long as they can attack. So these guys can still attack despite not being in the best physical condition. And this cavalry unit I'm going to move, it's a Hungarian cavalry unit, I'm going to be moving behind enemy lines. Let's see if we can do anything with this guy. Oh, he can definitely attack, and we're going to actually have him attack from behind. So we're basically trapped this army group here, although they do have a lot of units here, so we're going to throw everything into this fight. 253 of 200, attack. And yeah, considering they had that many men stored in that area, I'm not at all surprised that they managed to actually kind of fight us off. Oh, sorry guys. Damn it, this mic sometimes doesn't want to stay put. So I'm going to go ahead and allow that. Let's see what we can do here. Some Slovak infantry divisions that might be able to assist. We're really just trying to use as many men as possible to do damage to the enemy here. We also can't forget about our Finnish troops in the north. I never really wanted them to be part of this fight, to be honest with you. I wanted them to just stay away and let us deal with the issues, but if they insist, we'll let them join up. And I'm also going to move this Panzer Group unit over here to this city. I think we actually get, oh, maybe not, there's an HQ there, but I think we actually get more supplies if we're in a city than if we're out just in the middle of the road, basically. So we'll try to hit these guys for another round. Let's go for it. Yep, tank and infantry division. Let's go for it, guys. Vorwärts! Once again, they held pretty well there. We actually probably took way more damage than we should have. 2,600 dead on our side, 2,400 dead on the enemy side. Yeah, the enemy definitely held out there. We've got to really give these guys a chance to rest. So we're going to go ahead and ignore that for now. We'll keep moving these Hungarians forward, although to be honest, they also need some rest. And I didn't even realize how desperate these guys are for some rest. But we'll keep moving forward. We'll also take the town of Chernovich. Try to defend it as best I can here. But I can't promise that that's going to go perfectly well. Let's see if we can hit this guy. Oh yeah, with some of our Germans and maybe one Hungarian unit. Come on, boys. Beautiful. Got some retreats. So this southern area is still fairly strong. Of course, nothing to write home about, but they can hold their own, I think. Maybe they can even hold their own against this unit here. Yes, we're going to send in the Hungarians this time, or the Romanians, excuse me. It's totally up to them here. And they did manage to panic that Soviet unit pretty badly, so kudos to them. That was actually a good job. I'm impressed there. And we're getting closer to the oil fields of Odessa. I think once we get to those oil fields, we're going to feel a lot more secure. Could be wrong, but I just get a feeling. We've also got this tank, and he is totally out of fuel. So he's in a world of shit. He's got to absolutely find his way out. And I'll actually move this guy to the HQ. Let's see what else we can do here. Might be able to move forward with some more units. If not, I'm pretty happy with our positioning. And we can eventually get a fair amount of reinforcements or a fair amount of supplies to these men so that they don't need as many reinforcements. But we'll see how it goes. We really don't know. Like, these guys are staying in a mountain. That's probably not the best location. I'm going to move this general over here. Although he's supplying these guys, so maybe we should have waited. Maybe not such a good decision on my part. It's okay, though. We all make mistakes. And actually, these units can attack. So we're going to keep moving. That unit looks strange, to say the least. I'm going to try to actually hit this HQ unit with our tanks from 2 different locations, and maybe we can even get an infantry unit to join in the assault. If not, I think this is definitely a worth it attack. So let's go ahead, let's attack here. Only 1 tank can go for that? No. No. I'm not going to allow that. Let them rest. What about here? Yes, this we can go for. Here we go, guys. Concentric attack. And that looks like actually some sort of Red Guard division, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely that golden has got to mean something. I want to see if we can get this tank into that town of Vilnius. Yes, we can. Beautiful. So, a little more damage we can do to the enemy. Unfortunately, these tanks are completely out of fuel. So are the infantry units. This entire area needs some serious assistance. Like this group of Soviets is definitely very strong, so I want to be very, very careful. And I think that's going to be that. Actually, we can still hit the units over here. Fortunately, the Totenkopf division is in desperate need of resupply. Might try to play another card here, guys, believe it or not. I think we're going to eliminate these guys. List. Attacken Sie. And yeah, we just broke one of the units. Another one is retreating. Good job. Let's see if we can move into Lipaja. Lipaja. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly at all. And maybe we can even move some of these generals forward. No, this guy's going to have to stay back. But he knows what he's doing, more or less. We'll try one more time to attack here. Well, I think we've... yeah, we're not going to send in 45. No way. Not going to risk our men there for that attack. But we're getting close to Minsk. And actually, I have a division card here. We also have Luftwaffe tactical support. Or resupply Army Group Center. This might be a good idea. So let's go ahead and try to resupply Army Group Center here. 1,800 pallets of ammunition. And we need fuel as well. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and resupply Army Group Center with fuel. First Panzer Group. Not bad. Play the card. Been delivered to make a makeshift airfield. We're doing a lot of resupplying here, which is absolutely part of the game. And to rest a division, I want to see if we could play this on the Totenkopf. Let's play it here. 26th Infantry Division will cease combat and command. Organized priority for transport to any division. Temporary reassign a PG. Focus staff and command resources into an army group. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, here we go. So we're doing everything we can to help these guys. I'm not sure if it's going to help, but we've got to at least hope it will help, of course. And we're going to end the turn there, guys. We've done enough, I think, this particular turn. So let's end the turn there, turn it over to the Soviets, and let's hope we made the right decisions here. 4 decisions have been delegated. Let's hope they were the right ones. Curious to see whether the Russians will attempt to counterattack or allow us to resupply calmly and efficiently. It's going to really determine whether or not this goes well. Alright, so a lot of retreats. This is actually a good sign. They're giving us a little bit of breathing room while we resupply. A lot of retreats while we try to get in some supplies to our men under any circumstances. Obviously, the deeper into Russia we get, the harder it is to... the harder it's going to be to rest these guys and resupply them. But if they're pulling back, they're forming a defensive line, which is not a good thing, but they are pulling away from the front, which allows us to move forward, which is a good thing. So this is kind of give and take, and if we can keep this up, who knows what can happen? Who knows how lucky we're going to get? But I hope we can at least make it to Minsk. I think that's an absolute necessity. We didn't really do anything with our Finns because I don't want them getting involved in the war or losing ground. It does look like the attacker was victorious and seemed to push some of the Finns there back. So maybe we should do some counterattacks in the north, but I haven't really felt like it's necessary or something that we should focus on much at all, really. But let's see what they do. Okay, guys, it's our turn. How fortunate for governments that the people they administer don't think. Interesting quote. Sven's Veruktor monkey goes into battle clutching the top of Sven's pack. Watching Sven running frantically around and diving to the ground is like watching a jockey riding a wild bucking horse. The monkey gives out a wild keening screech and is as we are completely nuts. Rusland has such good weather that I consider living here once all the Bolsheviks are gone. Interesting. So a few of our men are considering moving to Rusland. We must find out who they are. They could be enemies of the state. Let's go ahead and send these 3 boys in for an attack on this guy. If we can wipe him out. And there we go. Broken enemy. Probably didn't even need to do that. And over here, we can probably get some nice attacks going as well. So we definitely have resupplied our units well. So I'm going to send in the Viking. Send in the tank. And send in some of our better units here. Stronger units to see if we can't smash this Soviet area, of course. Nice. We broke one of the units. We forced most of them to retreat, and Lvov is now going to be ours. Although, as you can see there, the tanks aren't able to move as much as we wanted them to, so maybe it's time to rest and resupply this army. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Of course, we'll be back with more later. Do realize that with this series, we generally get YouTube, for whatever reason, flags it. It might be Blitzkrieg in the title. I really don't know. So make sure to support the series and be as supportive as you can with the other videos. When those ads come up, please do watch them on the other videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care, and I hope to see you in the next part of our campaign.